Wait. Oh my God. I'm having an epiphany right now. You're seeing an epiphany in real time. I have a mental block when it comes to the idea of loving myself. I feel shame about this, because I'm given to understand that loving myself is necessary if I want to be a well-adjusted person with healthy relationships. I do want these things, and I've done all kinds of work on myself via both therapy and introspection in an attempt to optimize my brain. And yet, this whole loving myself thing escapes me. It's not a self-esteem issue. Or at least, that's not the main problem I'm having. It's an issue of semantics. When someone tells me to love myself, I literally can't understand what I'm being asked to do. Love, to me, is something I feel for someone else, someone out there. I am not out there and I am not someone else. So it's confounding. I'm reminded of when my marriage ended, almost 20 years ago now, wow, and I bought a self-help book to help get me back on my feet. The book was called Rebuilding When Your Relationship Ends, and it was very useful to me once I adapted its advice to my particular brain. The book said, among other things, that you are the only person guaranteed to be with you for the rest of your life, so you should cultivate a good relationship with yourself. The idea of having a relationship with myself was alien to me. A relationship requires at least two people, and there's only one of me. The book recommended that I get to a point where I enjoy spending time with myself, and my first thought was, well, I enjoy being alone. Is that what they're trying to say? Or is spending time with myself a different thing? Eventually I concluded that perhaps other people think of themselves as two different people inside their heads. I conceive of myself as one person. Even when I talk to myself, I'm still talking to just myself and not another me, if that makes sense.
It does, Other Barry. It sure does.
And that's the same problem I have with the concept of loving myself. I am one person. When I love someone, it's generally because I enjoy our interactions in some capacity, but I do not have interactions with myself because there is only one of me. I have ideas about what self-love is probably supposed to look like in practice, not berating myself too harshly when I make a mistake, holding strong boundaries with other people because I believe that I deserve to be safe and comfortable, that sort of thing. I'm working on doing that part. But I don't understand how to actually love myself. I can do the actions that it entails, but if I try to harness the actual emotion of love and direct it toward myself, does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute. So maybe I fail at self-love. Unless we're using self-love as a euphemism for masturbation. But, wait. Wait. Oh my God. I'm having an epiphany right now. You're seeing an epiphany in real time. Have you ever held two conflicting ideas in your head at once and not realized it? I've been planning this video on loving yourself for a while now. I also have plans to make a video about loving other people. And the crux of that other video was going to be that I've decided the emotion we call love is largely meaningless, and I think we should define love by the things we do instead of the way we feel. I guess I forgot to mentally update my personal definition of loving yourself when I mentally updated my personal definition of loving other people. But, yeah, according to my own definition of love, all that matters is how I treat those I purport to love, not how I actually feel about them. And therefore, loving myself comprises treating myself kindly and keeping myself safe and that sort of thing, and that's it. The emotional part is irrelevant. I suspect that at least some of the discourse around loving yourself is actually talking about having fond feelings about who you are as a person. But I reject that framing from here onward. I've decided that loving yourself is synonymous with taking care of yourself, and therefore I'm doing okay at it. This is actually kind of a load off my mind. Phew. Anyway, awkwardly timed epiphany aside, the central point of this video is that I stumbled over an online post a while back that I really liked, and I wanted to share it with you. Plain Flavored English on Tumblr says, "Your purpose in life is not to love yourself, but to love being yourself. If your goal is to love yourself, then your focus is directed inward toward yourself, and you end up constantly watching yourself from the outside, disconnected, trying to summon the correct feelings toward yourself or fashion yourself into something you can approve of. If your goal is to love being yourself, then your focus is directed outward towards life, on living and making decisions based on what brings you pleasure and fulfillment. Be the subject, not the object. It doesn't matter what you think of yourself. You are experiencing life. Life is not experiencing you." This post perfectly articulates the reason why I could never relate to the idea of having mushy feelings about myself. It's what I was trying to get at earlier when I said that love is for people out there and I'm in here. Constantly trying to view myself from the outside and critique what I see isn't fun or even particularly productive to me. It kinda just paralyzes me with anxiety. I would rather stop with all the navel gazing, or doorknob gazing, and focus on external things instead. I would rather devote myself to the principle that life is short and I should enjoy the ride as much as I can. Basically, I want to be so busy pursuing my hobbies, seeing my friends, savoring the little happy moments in life, and just generally having fun that I don't have time to worry about whether or not I love myself the way people say I should. And giving myself permission to relax and have fun is, in fact, an act of love toward myself. By my definition at least. So I guess my thoughts just came full circle. What does loving yourself mean to you? Are you there yet? Have you been stuck on the idea that loving yourself means you're supposed to feel all mushy and sentimental about yourself, and you felt defective for not being able to? Or is that just me? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
His name is Cody.
Hi Cody. What a handsome little man you are. Yes you are. You are so handsome.